of those Mondays. It's a Monday that feels like a Monday. It's a Monday that feels like a fucking Monday. It feels like a fucking Monday. Yeah. Wait, I gotta put my chair. Okay. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's a little better. Oh, so many chords. Good morning, Kevin. Good morning, Neil. I'm sorry I was late. Oh my God, it's been one of those mornings where you're running. Jay Rants. I'm in and out. Happy to start the week with Wake and Bake. Well, girl, I'm gonna have stuff for you to listen to. You don't even have to look at the screen. You can just plug me in and go run around the city. And I will help you. It's super windy, blizzard outside. Ooh, be careful, Mewing Star. Be careful in that weather. Although I love a good blizzard if I don't have to go out in it. Hey, you. Gee, I caught a little bit of your show last night. First of all, of course you are gorgeous. Now, I knew you were gorgeous anyway, but I saw you go on cam last night, and you're absolutely gorgeous, first. And, of course, I think you're funny, and I think your videos are incredible. And I know how much work that takes. I know, I don't do them like you do. I'm not even good at that. But I know a little bit about the work it takes, so congratulations. You do such a good job on your videos. Oh my God. Anyway, good to see you, darling. I hope you're good. You looked really happy and healthy and all that kind of good stuff. Oh, don't be nervous. Oh my, are you kidding me? Girl, come on now. Look who you're talking to. But yeah, well, you I thought it was great. So, really good job. And yeah, I just think, and your puppy is so cute. I saw you when you had your puppy in your hands. Your puppy is so cute. So, have fun with that. I'm so happy for you. I think puppies are the best. They really are. And Jane is here. Jane, you're making me crazy. You're making me blind. Audrey's here. Where's Audrey? Hi, Audrey. Good morning, darling. How are you? And Meowing and Kevin is here. Yeah, I just one of those mornings, man, where I just wake up and I'm like, I'm late, number one. Number two, I don't have any coffee, so I have to go get coffee. All these things. Yes, they are. Our fur babies are absolute. Oh, thank you, G. So everyone say good morning to G. God without an OD is G. This is G. Gonna grab a cup of coffee and get back in bed. Yes, that's the key. Perfect. If you can get back into bed, I'm jealous. I'm very jealous right now, and I think we should all just do the show from bed. How about that? Why don't we do the show from bed? Oh my God. Oh my God, that cup is so good. Morning, Oomph. Let's see. Well, I guess we all made it through last week. I mean, most of us, so we're still here. That's good. It was very cold this morning here in California, which is nice, except for the fact that it's hard to get up when it's cold. Let's see, what else? Not much. I mean, I have my bear suit on this morning because I'm freezing, and it literally has bear ears. I think maybe I should just do the show like this. It's freezing here, deep in the heart of Texas. I need to make a trip back out to Cali. I hope you do, because I wanna meet up with you if you do. So, hit me up if you come out to the coast. That sounds so fun. I love antiquing. Oh, it's freezing. Yeah, I know. You did the antique market? Oh my God. Audrey, I fucking love antique markets. I would do that. I had 2 girlfriends back in the day where when we lived near each other, we would go antiquing. Oh my God, so fun. Neil, I'm here. I just was late. Guy, I was late, okay? I only made $9, y'all. Oh, come on. Oh, that's a lot of work. Oh, babe, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That's fucked up. I'm sorry. Thor and Loki are on crack this morning? Okay. That sounds like it's going to be fun. That sounds like it's going to be a lot of fun. Oh my god, that coffee's so good. Well, good morning. Yes, Mr. G and I were just talking about planning a trip out. We can definitely hook up. Great. I look forward to it very much so. I'll take you guys out to dinner or something. That'll be fun. That'll be a lot of fun. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Wake and Bake with Lolo. I'm Lolo. I'm late, but I'm Lolo. And we have a lot. Send help. There are 2 crack-filled dogs in Colorado right now, and we just need a little assistance in Colorado, if you wouldn't mind, to help us get the... Inky is on crack this morning, too. It's in the air. Okay, well, my animals have... I think because I woke up late, my animals have stayed away from me. Because they're, like, seeing me run around. So I think my animals just took pity on me and said, is this admin and clump slowly... Bool? Is that bool like that computer language? Bool? Is that a computer language, or did I just make that up? I might have just made that up. It happens. I made money last week. I'll try again next week. Have to empty my mom's storage. Oh, that is a big job, Audrey. Oh my god. That's a big job. You have a lot. You have a lot on your mind. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. Well, this morning, we're going to check some headlines. I've got a ton of stories, which we will not get to all of them, which upsets me, but we can spread the love. But I do have quite a few pieces that I picked up over the weekend, especially that I wanted to read to you this morning, since we don't have any Congress. Yeah, since Congress isn't in session and SCOTUS isn't in session, nobody's in session except for us. Here we are. That's right, and the Wake and Bake. So we're here, and so why not? Let's learn something this week. Good morning, Teresa. How are you, darling? Jane. Hello, lovely Jane. What was I watching this morning? I can't. Well, no, I was watching PBD broadcast, which is so dumb. So I can't even tell you how dumb those guys are. I'm really sick of how dumb the cruel people are. Does that make sense? I'm kind of done with the cruel people. Like, I don't really understand that. But yeah, so PPD, they're talking about the Minnesota stuff. And first of all, I'm just going to say something about the Minnesota stuff that I know right now, which I feel like we all don't have a lot of. Yeah, we're in session. Oh, thank you. I got it on. I actually got this on the TikTok shop, and I'm sorry. I apologize, but that's the way it is. So just get over yourselves. My New Year's resolution, no more typos. Oh, Jane, come on now. Freezing is relative. My car is covered in 5 millimeters, a quarter inch of ice. That's cold. Well, you know what? I think you need to figure out where you are. I think that's too cold a place to live. Cruel ignorance needs to go away. I agree with that, and I'm really getting sick of it, Meowing Star. I'm really getting, like, absolutely, like, up to here with those people having any kind of voice whatsoever. Anyway, I'm gonna not have my bear ears on when I read news. I know this is gonna sound stupid, but because my hair is clean, like I washed it last night and then I sleep on it, even if it's clean, I mean, especially when it's clean, it doesn't hold the curl because it's almost like too fresh, you know? So it all like falls. And I think my hair is growing out, so I don't know. I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep growing it. I think I am because I'm lazy. But anyway, you didn't come here for that. You came here to hear all the things that are happening in our lives. Let me see. Oh my God. Wow, okay. How do you get 6 people? Okay, wait, this is the wrong one. All right, so I wanted to start with, where'd I have my, I had my story all pulled up and now I fucked up. God damn it. This was really good too. Okay, this is the first one I want to read. Okay, there we go. I everyone in Davenport. Hi, Paul J. How are you, darling? Oh, I missed you. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're here. Good morning. Good morning. Welcome to the show. Okay. I pulled a bunch of stories that I was interested in, and I hope, well, let's just get through them. Let's get through them, girl. Let's get through the stories, yeah. Let's get through the stories. All right, share the broadcast. Hit the like. Has anyone seen Butterflies Are Free or Easily Distracted? Easily came in last week. No, maybe not. Maybe before then. I haven't. And Butterflies, I don't know. I've seen her once or twice in other chats. But I don't know. I don't know. Sometimes people just fade away, and then they'll fade back in, and then they'll fade away, and then they'll fade back in. Or they make choices. Sometimes people make choices. That's fine too. I understand it. It happens. So I don't know. But I hope everybody's well. I've seen butterflies around the streets of YouTube. Yeah, well, people make choices, and maybe sometimes I'm not the choice. I don't know. It just happens. It happens that way. Let's see. And wait, where am I? Okay, yeah, this is where I am. This is where I am, and this is where it's been. This is where I'm at, and this is where I'll be. Yeah, Easily was here. That's right. Yeah, I remember seeing Easily here. But I don't know. I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Haven't seen either of them since Lolo came back from the hiatus. Was just asking. Always nice to have them. Absolutely. Kevin, all right, I'm off for a job interview and then off to work. Have good luck, Kevin. Good luck. Hang in there, bud. All right? Hang in there and have a great day, and I'll talk to you later. I hope you have a good day. All right, be strong. Be strong. This year's almost over. Thank God. Thank fucking God this year's almost over. Except for the fact that next year I'm not so excited about the government and the way the government's going to be, but this is what we have to do. Oh, you hear the music? Oh, Jesus Christ. You guys. Where is it? Oh, you guys, the music was playing the whole time. Oh my God. No, there's no music playing. I don't know what you guys are talking about. What are you talking about? There's no music playing. Are you guys sure you have good hearing? Are you sure you have good hearing? I don't know. Maybe you should get your hearing. I don't hear any music. Sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. Okay. All right. It doesn't play through my headphones. It doesn't even play out. It doesn't play anywhere I can hear it. It doesn't play on my computer. It doesn't play out loud. It only plays for you people. It's trying to set me up. No, he's probably just looking for something better. No, you're not going insane. It's just me and my inability to route my tech the right way. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, the music doesn't play in my ear, or it doesn't play on my computer out loud. So I don't know when it's going and when it's not unless I look at it. And this is a me problem. This is not a you problem, of course. But it wouldn't be a Lolo show without a big old technical bitch. All right. TBH, I have facts still matter on the Roku and Lolo on the Android. That's okay, Paul J. I'll accept it. The title of a Midas article, I know drama, I haven't read. 500 worst actions of the clump admin for 2025. For once, not a click. Oh, I know. Actually, Jane, I pulled up. It's funny you say that because I actually have a 500 or something. The 500 things Trump did this year. So I have one of those articles to read for us today. It's not the Midas one. Sorry. I'm so sorry, everyone. Good morning. May I call you God? No, you could call her a god. She's totally there. She runs these streets. I'll tell you right now, people run scared if G has a video up of them. So yeah, in that way, she might be a little bit of a god. No, you're fine. You're fine. It was your stupid host. Your stupid host doesn't know how to run her fucking tech, and that's really the bottom line. And we can't sugarcoat it. We just have to accept it. All right. Anyways, let's see what fucking RFK Jr. is gonna, who he's fucking now. And it's not Olivia Nuzzi. It's the rest of the American people. Okay. So this article I pulled up from LGBTQ Nation. Seattle Children's is first target of RFK Jr.'s threat to end funds to hospitals treating trans youth. So, yeah. Yeah, but it's true, G, but it's true. Hey, man, if you don't act like an idiot, nobody has to make a video about you. That's all I'm saying, all right? Don't be an asshole. Won't be any assholes. I don't know. What's the saying? Is that the saying? Maybe. Okay. Seattle Children. All right. So the agency will investigate the hospital for failure to meet professional recognized standards of care. Hold on. Let me turn that off and I'm going to make it bigger. Bow, bow. Pa-chow, pa-chow. Hi, Max. I used to dumpster dive old furniture and rehab and sell it at weekend markets. Was a ton of fun. Oh, yeah. That'd be fun. You like that motto? Till you can find an emoji. T-I-L. I never know what these things mean. Till you can find an emoji by talking to Sergio. Well, I don't know. It's okay. Morning all. Hi, SB. How are you, darling? It's a good rule of thumb. Okay. Did I make it bigger? I did. Okay. This is from December 28th. HHS Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has identified his first target following his declaration earlier this month to cut off Medicaid and Medicare funding to any hospital that provides health care to trans youth. Last Friday, in a social media post, HHS announced that it was referring Seattle Children's Hospital for investigation for providing gender-affirming care to trans youth. The post said that the investigation was warranted for failure to meet professional recognized standards of health care, according to Secretary Kennedy's declaration that sex-rejecting procedures for children and adolescents are neither safe nor effective as a treatment modality for gender dysphoria, gender incongruence, or other related disorders in minors. Of course, Kennedy's declaration was simply that, a declaration with no basis in science. Medical societies have rejected Kennedy's anti-science stance, which has led Kennedy to cut off money for them as well. Kennedy's declaration made on December 18th is a nuclear option to pressure hospitals to drop care for trans youth. Hospitals rely upon federal payments for treatment of Medicare and Medicaid patients. Without that money, hospitals, which are already struggling with difficult finances, will lose millions of dollars. And a lot of people will die. I don't know. Can I add that? Federal funding through Medicare and Medicaid accounts for nearly 45% of all spending on hospital care, according to the Kaiser Family Foundation, KFF, the nonprofit health policy research group. Seattle Children's, one of the top 10 pediatric hospitals in the U.S., has long been a target of the far right for its care of trans youth. 2 years ago, Texas Attorney General Ken Paxton. Ken, that's not my mistress, that's my wife. My mistress is the other blonde. Issued a subpoena demanding records pertaining to any Texas patients who receive gender-affirming care at the hospital. He eventually dropped the subpoena because he's a fucking ineffective moron. However, Dump's Department of Justice tried to use the same tactic earlier this year, seeking personal information about patients from providers treating trans youth. That subpoena was eventually quashed. Just last week, a federal judge in Pennsylvania rejected another DOJ attempt to get the personal health information of trans youth. Yeah, wonky-eyed Ken. That's right. I got one eye on my mistress and one eye on my wife, and they're in the same room. That's right. Total chud. Ken Paxton. King Chud. No, actually, he's not the King Chud, but he's a jester. That's for sure. Oh, my God. My nose is running. Oh, my nose is running. All right. Seattle Children's did not immediately respond to the threat from HHS. Releasing the information on the day after Christmas looked like an attempt to bury the news. However, conservative outlets such as the National Review and the Washington Examiner were quick to pick up on the story, characterizing trans health care as genital mutilation because they don't know anything and they're so scared of life. Kennedy's declaration is already facing a legal challenge from 19 states. However, there is no denying the chilling effect that the ongoing threats from the Trump administration has had on access to health care for trans youth. More than 20 hospitals across the U.S. have ended or restricted care for trans youth in the face of pressure from the Dump administration. Do they actually say who they are? At least 21 since January. When is this? August 24th. I'm going to include this in our thing. 20 hospitals. Did they say which ones? I would like a list of hospitals, please. Can we get a list of... I'll include this article from NBC News, but I'm going to actually... oh, man, now I fucked up. I'm going to see which hospitals are doing it. I'm gonna do that. Today I learned. Wait, what? Oh, nice. God, I thought of doing that before. Wait. Did I miss something good? Did I miss something good? Oh, temporarily Eileen. Oh, is that? Oh, today I learned. Oh. Today I learned. Oh my God, you guys, you're so smart. You're so smart. Thank God I have the kids here to help me understand all the newfangled language. I just can't keep up with you kids today. I don't even know what to say about it. Okay. Oh, that piece is done. Okay, sorry. So first of all, here's this is like a perfect example, by the way. Badger! Oh my God, I'm so glad to see you. Exactly. Paxton would sue Olympic, even his own, if it didn't stand to attention when he watched. Does he notice? I don't know. What's he looking at? No, I'm just kidding. Ken, what are you looking at? Good morning. Wait 1 second. Oh, so my little diatribe about this is that this is yet another example of how this regime continues to implement policies or say things or start to cut off funding in ways that are illegal, and they are challenged in court. And the problem with this regime is that they are led by the king litigator himself, Turd Bowl, and he is going to drag everything through the courts and use delay as a way to just implement what he wants to, or what they want to do. It's not him, they don't need that. They don't need any kind of legal, this regime is not interested in legal opinions on their actions. They are going to act the way they want to act, regardless of what any court says. And we see that every fucking day, where they continue. I don't know if the National Guard are still on the ground in Chicago, but I wouldn't be shocked. It doesn't seem to matter what the courts say. And that's the game. And it's always been Trump's game. That's his whole fucking existence, is staying and keeping people in court so that he can avoid responsibility. Oh my God. Why doesn't the media actually talk about that as the core strategy of this fucking administration? I don't know. Okay. Oh boy. All right. Now this I picked up also on the trans healthcare. I tried to group the stories about topics, so I apologize if I jump around, but I really have this morning tried to group the stories so that they're somewhat related to each other. So we'll see if I succeed. States file lawsuit. This is from the Vanguard. The states file lawsuit against Trump administration over transgender healthcare limits. And it's led by my favorite Attorney General, Rob Bonta. I love you, Rob Bonta. Rob Bonta is really good. I mean, so far he's a good Attorney General. Oh man, it won't let me make it look bigger. Why can't I make it look bigger? What's the matter, everybody? Okay, well, I'll read it to you. So this also is from December 28th. California Attorney General Rob Bonta is leading a multi-state lawsuit challenging a Dump administration declaration that states say could sharply restrict access to gender-affirming care by threatening doctors and hospitals with the loss of federal health funding. Quote, this case challenges a federal move that threatens doctors and hospitals with losing Medicare and Medicaid funding, the lawsuit states, warning that providers could be forced to stop offering care. The lawsuit was filed in federal court in Oregon and targets a declaration by Health and Human Service Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr., whale killer and bear eater. Wait, did he eat it? Maybe he didn't. I don't know. Nobody was there. Prove me wrong. The declaration claims gender-affirming care does not meet accepted medical standards, which is bullshit. The state's right, calling the claim unsupported by any medical evidence. That's right. There is no medical evidence for this bigotry. Those two things don't go together. Damn it. Yeah, example of how they affect real life. Exactly. Under the declaration, hospitals and doctors who provide this care could be removed from federal health programs. We got to get in the streets, babes. We all have to get in the streets. The threat of losing federal funding puts providers in an impossible position, the coalition argues, saying many would have no choice but to end care. Bonta said the declaration is part of a broader effort to restrict care for transgender people. Secretary Kennedy's declaration seeks to limit access to gender-affirming care for minors, Bonta said, adding that it pressures hospitals to halt treatment. He said the move bypasses normal government rules. The declaration is unlawful and skips required public review, Bonta said. The lawsuit also points to proposed federal rules released on December 18th. Those rules would ban federal reimbursement for gender-affirming care for minors, the states note, but stress they are not final. By contrast, the states argue the declaration attempts to act immediately. It enforces sweeping restrictions without waiting for public comment, the lawsuit states. Bonta and the coalition say gender-affirming care is widely supported by medical research. Major medical organizations recognize this care as safe and effective, the filing states. The states are asking a judge to block the declaration. Excellent. They seek a court order stopping the federal government from enforcing it, the lawsuit says. Bonta says California will continue defending access to care. We are holding the administration accountable for overstepping its authority, he said. Attorneys general from 18 states joined the lawsuit, along with the District of Columbia and the governor of Pennsylvania. The case could shape how much power the federal government has to influence medical care through funding, the coalition said. Bum, bum, thank you so much, Ms. Talwar. Yeah. So, there you go. I really think, and I put obviously, Jennifer Siebel Newsom doesn't know me from Adam, but she does. She did, at least. She knows me by another name, but we worked on Misrepresentation, the movie, together about women in media way back in the day. And so I think I know her a little bit better than I don't know. I mean, I met him because he came to the zoo when I was running a fundraising event. So he came to a fundraising event, but when he was mayor of San Francisco. But I mean, I think he needs to change. I mean, I'm sorry, but our friends are right. Gavin Newsom continues to say and act in ways that tell us he is not supporting trans people. And if he wants to be anything in this country, he's going to have to fucking switch and and actually genuinely articulate that he supports the rights of access and rights and basic human rights to get the medical care that you need. Okay? You can't prevent someone from getting medical care because you don't like what they do. Just say it like that and see how ridiculous you sound. See how ridiculous you sound. That you are going against doctors, families, the same people that want parental rights seem to want to take away those same parental rights if the child is transgender. How is that right? How does that make sense? It doesn't. That's right. Because that, my friends, is the paradox that's flying around in your chud hearts that you just don't understand how freedom can be for some people, but it's not for all. Well, then that's not freedom. Okay. All right. What topic next? Let's see, because I know that's what I had on that. Let me see what I've got. I don't want to do the economy today. Let's do. Oh yeah, let's do this. We'll stay in the medical realm. This is from the Springfield, Missouri News Leader. That's right. That's right. Missouri hopes federal funds I'm sorry, Dad, on rural hospitals as cuts loom. This is also from December 28th. Rural Missouri faces a healthcare crisis with hospital closures and a shortage of medical professionals. Missouri plans to use federal funds to empower local communities and reform its Medicaid payment system. Experts worry the new funding will not offset revenue losses from upcoming Medicaid eligibility changes. Let me just remind us all of how we got to this particular point in time on this timeline. Yeah, exactly. Holding entire communities' healthcare access hostage for this agenda. Exactly. That's peak cruelty. But what's happening here too... Wait, what was I going to say? It'll come to me. This is self-inflicted. That's what I was going to say. This is self-inflicted. Okay? This is a self-inflicted wound on the American economy, on the world economy, and on healthcare. Literally making an already faulty healthcare system worse. And in addition, creating wars and conflicts across the globe. In addition, oh my God, look at all the self-inflicted damage. Okay, so you've got what we're doing here with our own infrastructure, right? And services, our safety nets. Nobody has asked for an accounting of what's in the doggy cuts, right? So we don't even know what our government is doing with our money. But we're letting them make decisions about who gets care and who doesn't. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Like, this is all self-inflicted. The tariffs were self-inflicted. The price increases are self-inflicted. It is all self-inflicted wounds. We were not warring with Venezuela this time last year. We were not... supporting a full-blown genocide and then a rape of Palestine. We weren't, this is all created by this administration and their donors. Don't just put it on the administration. It's a Stephen Miller, Roast Vote, that whole group, but it's also the Peter Thiels and the donor class. And I don't know what is going to take for cotton-headed ninny-muggins who are chuds to wake up to the fact that the billionaires are fucking you. And it's not the fun kind of fucking. It's the bad kind of fucking. Okay? So, wake up. That's what they mean by woke, by the way, is that you aren't going to be taken advantage of by some fucking billionaire who wants you to work your ass off until you die. Just so that he can have, we're going to talk about that. What's it called? A jobless boom or something. What was it called? I have a story about it. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I'll find it. Anyway. So. Okay. For the 2.5, experts worry the new funding will not offset. Okay. For the 2.5 million Missourians in rural areas, healthcare is scarce and hospitals are struggling to survive. Rural communities have fewer than 1/5 as many OBGYNs per capita, and hospital care is more than twice as far away as in urban and suburban Missouri. Over the last decade, 12 rural hospitals have closed, and more than half of those are still operating or losing money. To address these challenges, the Missouri Department of Social Services hopes to use a piece of $50 billion federal program to empower rural communities to set their own healthcare priorities and overhaul the state's Medicaid payment system. Part of the One Big ugly bill passed by Congress this summer, U.S. lawmakers touted the Rural Health Transformation Program as a counterweight to the law's deep cuts to Medicaid and as a boon to struggling rural hospitals. Really? Because all of that just sounds like you cut money. I don't know. I'm just saying. Local and national experts praise the federal investment in long-term solutions in rural health care access and affordability, but they warn these funds will not make up for the revenue rural providers will lose as more patients become uninsured, thanks to federal law. Wait a minute. Is this another self-inflicted wound? When's the date that when does like enrollment or something end for Obamacare, ACA? I wonder. It's 20% of the overall U.S. economy. Max says the healthcare sector is like 20%. I think you're right. I don't know, but I've been told. Please share the broadcast. Thanks. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Thank you. Local and national experts praise the federal investment in... Okay, blah, blah, blah. Sorry. It's unclear what Missouri's share of the federal funding will be, though the Missouri Hospital Association estimated the state could receive between $1 and $1.25 billion. The U.S. Senators for Medicaid and Medicare Services is expected to announce state award amounts by December 31st. Okay, so that's what we need to know. This money in any other time is super transformative, said Heidi Lucas, Executive Director of the Missouri Rural Health Association. This is the type of money that we in rural health have been asking for decades. Girl, do you understand what's about to happen? You're excited about this money? Really? Okay. You gonna make it work with that? Because I don't think it's gonna. When you take money away from a total, like plus and then minus, and then plus again, but not as stop it. Stop putting lipstick on a pig. Like nobody cares about that. But Lucas said that most likely none of this. Oh my God, what happened? I'm throwing things around. I'm just so upset. Okay, here we go. That's because federal law will narrow Medicaid eligibility by adding work requirements and twice yearly eligibility recertifications. Twice yearly? Beginning in 2027. By one estimate from Princeton University, 130,000 of the 1.25 million Missourians currently on Medicaid could lose coverage over the next decade. That's not as... we need a better statistic than that, Princeton. The expiration on December 31st of enhanced premium subsidies enacted during the COVID-19 pandemic could lead more Missourians to go without insurance. That is going to happen. Oh my God, this is so stupid. It's just so fucking stupid. I had to grayish blue. Yeah, I had to tread carefully because it's his new girlfriend. I didn't want to offend her, but I inwardly flipped my lid. Oh, I don't know what. I missed the first part of this story, but it sounds good. Life happens, Lucas said. You could be in a car accident. You could fall down the stairs. You're still going to the hospital, and they're still going to be required to give you care whether you can pay or not. There you go. There's the secret. Jess Bax, director of the State Social Services Department, said Missouri's plan can help sustain existing rural health facilities while expanding access and investing in long-term changes on how the state compensates health care providers. When you look at Missouri's rural health plan, that's not easy to say. It is really focusing on all the aspects that affect that. Bax told The Independent, how do we get access today? How do we have the workforce for that access? What technology could we utilize to expand that access? And then how do we build a payment model to make sure that access stays in place? But experts and healthcare professionals said the federal funding wasn't designed to offset providers' anticipated losses from increases in uncompensated care. Oh, really? Yeah, but you did it. You made that possible. The Congress made that possible. So now you're dealing with it. It doesn't matter if it wasn't designed to. It's going to. Tony Ann Richards, CEO of HCC Network, a group of Missouri clinics that uses federal grants to fund care for people with high deductibles or no insurance, said that when the federal program was first announced, she hoped the funding could be used to cover those losses. But states can only spend 15% of their awards each year on provider payments. Doesn't that seem stupid? States can only spend 15% of their awards each year on provider payments, and only for services that can't already be compensated. By what? It became clear really early that this wasn't the intent of it, Richard said. It was to improve the system so that over time the unit cost of healthcare in rural communities would be driven down. Well, why don't we start asking the medical corporations and nonprofits, whatever, they're the biggest nonprofits I've ever seen. Why don't we ask the medical industry to lower their fucking costs? How about that? How about that? You know, like, why are you, is the government so not powerful that they can't tell the medical industry, listen, you can't just fucking rape people right and left? I don't know. Nobody has any balls. That's what I'm pretty much gathering. Carrie Cochran McLean, Chief Policy Officer of the National Rural Health Association, said providers across the country are feeling the tension between federal investment in rural healthcare innovation and policies that will cause massive reductions in the payments that allow them to operate. We want to be able to invest in our future and enhance quality of life in rural areas, Cochran McLean said, but we still need adequate reimbursement day to day to be able to make ends meet in our facilities and provide the services we need to our populations. With its plan, Missouri wants to expand a pilot program that sought to center local medical providers and community organizations in identifying healthcare priorities and transform how the state compensates providers to support those goals. The primary goal of Missouri's plan is to revamp the Medicaid payment system to guarantee the effective use of taxpayer dollars, said Bailey Watts, a spokesperson for the Social Services Department, in an email to The Independent. The pilot torch, or transformation of rural Torch. Oh, they totally do, Meowing Star. No, this is all about eugenics. This is all about less people to have to worry about coming to your house with pitchforks. That's really what it is. They realize the numbers aren't going to be in their favor, so they better do something to lower those numbers, to cull the herd. Okay. All right. Transformation of Rural Community Health was launched in 2022 and put rural hospitals in 6 counties in charge of hubs to coordinate care among medical providers and community organizations. That's a great idea. The state obtained a waiver from the Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services allowing reimbursement for services that Medicaid doesn't usually cover, but that enable people to be healthy, such as housing modifications or, pest removal, Yeah. Oh, my God. And you know what? I actually agree. We should blow up all these systems, and there is a lot to be said for revamping. It just feels so big. Lori Whiteman, CEO of Bothwell Regional Health Center in Sedalia, which is one of the 6 hubs, said the pilot has helped keep people out of the emergency room. Whiteman gave the example of a man who was in the emergency room 40 to 50 times in 1 year due to flare-ups of his chronic illness. The heating and air conditioning in his home were broken, leading him to rely on electric heaters and window units. His electric bills had gotten so expensive, Whiteman said, that he couldn't afford his medications, which caused the flare-ups. Oh, sounds familiar. Using the pilot program, Whiteman said the hospital bought him a new HVAC unit through Medicaid. Oh, my God. It's now been 6 months, and he hasn't needed to be back in the emergency department at all. Yeah. The state's application for federal funding proposes to establish 30 community hubs across 104 counties with staff at the regional and state levels to coordinate partnerships and track outcomes. Each hub would include medical providers and community organizations offering services that keep people healthy, like food assistance or transportation. Communities would be able to identify local needs, such as medical transportation, backset, and request funding. They can say, that's a gap for us, and we think we could have an impact on health outcomes if we're able to provide this, Back said. Lucas said this plan has a lot of upside. If you're offering wraparound services, which is always the way to go, sorry, even in school I tried to push wraparound, like how do we get to a point where it's wraparound services for kids? If you're offering wraparound services, figuring out how they can get nutritious food into their homes, how they get transportation, that's going to raise health outcomes, Lucas said. Alternative payment models, which pay providers based on the quality rather than volume of services, would ensure the sustainability of these measures under Missouri's plan. Richard said alternative payment models have been part of conversations about how to sustain struggling rural hospitals and clinics for at least a decade, but getting payers and providers to agree on a model is complicated. Keith Muller, director of the Rural Policy Research Institute, said the infusion of federal funding could help. The excitement about the Transformation Fund is we have 5 years now with some support to really get this thing out there, Muller said. Cochran McLean said the federal program is a once-in-a-lifetime blue moon opportunity to get some of the long-standing challenges we've had in terms of underfunding in rural areas. Alternative payment models, Cochran McLean said, could help level the playing field for rural providers who have high fixed costs like their urban counterparts but see fewer patients. Patients in rural areas also are more likely to rely on Medicaid or Medicare. Back said the state would seek to incentivize effective care rather than a large quantity of more expensive services with the new payment models. She gave the example of home-delivered medically tailored meals to allow someone to be just discharged earlier from the hospital. They're keeping people healthier, allowing them to be successful staying at home with just some hot meals delivered, Back said. Richard said she thinks the federal funding will give Missouri an opportunity to be innovative around what alternative payment models might look like. But Richard and others said it's unclear when rural providers will begin to feel relief from the long-term investments the federal funding was designed to support. Back said the biggest piece of the funding the state requested for is provider transformation, which includes renovations of existing facilities and investments in technology to help providers share medical records and referrals. But other parts of the application, like alternative payment models, will take time to show results. We're not going to see that return on investment in 5 years, Richard said, but if we continue to work beyond the fund, in theory, it will drive down that unit cost. Whiteman said she hopes some federal funding will be available to help Bothwell address pressing infrastructural needs, the roof leak, she said, so the hospital has to shut down the operating room when there's heavy rain. Whiteman said the hospital's collaboration with the state's social services department during the pilot has been successful. The only thing she worries about in the state's application is the allocation of 100 full-time equivalent positions to work in state, regional, and local offices. Only the people on the ground can identify partners and coordinate, not hub program coordinators, Whiteman said. That's not a roof over my operating room. Mueller said the trick will be for states to sustain key rural health providers during federal and state changes. Oh, really? So that's the trick? Okay. Can you move these things fast enough that you've got the changes in delivery and new payment methodology that make it possible to operate even with the cuts in Medicaid revenue? Despite the challenges, Lucas said she is cautiously optimistic about what the state can achieve with the funding. The healthcare system is broken, Lucas said. We all know that. So if we're able to better support our communities, we are grateful for this money to be able to do that because that's never been a possibility like this. Everybody wants it to work. Well, good luck, Missouri, because I think you've been sold a bill of goods, but that's okay. Yeah. Okay, let's take a break for a minute because I'm going to drink some of my coffee. Yeah, I want to drink my coffee. Yeah, Max says if my local hospital closes 16 miles away, the nearest one will be 30 miles away. I'm sorry, but you can't tell me that less money in makes better health care. Help me understand how that happens. How's that work exactly? How does less money for a money-grubbing industry still equate to better care? I don't know. How, because more people die, so there's less people in line? I don't know. How does that... What are we talking about here? What are we talking about here? Are you smoking weed on this channel? Am I? I don't know. No, I'm drinking coffee right now. What's the matter, Donna? Do you want me to, Donna? The question is, Donna, are you smoking weed on this channel? That's what I want to know. Missouri is one of the states using AI to deny health care. Oh, I have a feeling that's happening more and more. AI is getting snaky. It's getting snaky. Oh, sorry. But you know, Donna, that's a good reminder. I should smoke. Oh my God. As I cough up a lung, but then smoke. Oh, God. Yeah, I know. Really, right? Like, what's the matter, people? What's the matter, everybody? What are you sad about something? What are you sad about? Oh, you can't really see my fireplace. I need to get the fireplace back in there. Okay. Sorry, I didn't realize the fireplace / computer screen was on there. Oh, my God. So one of the things I did this weekend was also look at some of the other stories that we've been following. And Gaza is certainly, top of mind in the stories that we want to keep abreast of in terms of what's happening. Yeah, it's called Wake and Bake. Yeah! There you go, Donna. I don't know, man. Your question sounded like you could be trolling. You could not be trolling. I don't know. All right, here we go. We got a lot of trolls in this channel. I don't know what to tell you. Let me make a burger. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah. Okay, what? Isn't that weird that it doesn't? Oh, okay. Sheesh. Oh, here we go. All right, that's fine. I'll do that. And then, oh, I know. Wait. Hold on to your love. You got to hold on. Hold on. Oh, oh. Don't let go. Couldn't help but notice no baking. I know. I just got busy. That's all. I just got busy. Oh no, there's baking happening. I mean, it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen. Is that working? Yeah, that is kind of working. Okay, this is from what is this from? Oh, Times of India. Sorry. This is Times of India. So it's not, my first choice for reporting, but it was a place where I could get a story not behind a paywall. Oh, thank you, Audrey. You never know. Okay. Let's read about what's happening with Gaza. This is also from yesterday. In the Gaza Strip, rain lashed the Gaza Strip over the weekend, flooding makeshift encampments with ankle-deep puddles as Palestinians displaced by the 2-year war attempted to stay dry in tents frayed by months of use. Muddy water-soaked blankets and mattresses in tents in a camp in Khan Yunis, and fragile shelters were propped up with old pieces of wood. Children wearing flip-flops and light clothing ill-suited for winter waded through the freezing puddles, which turned dirt roads into rivers. Some people used shovels to try and push the water out of their tents. Nowhere to escape the rain. We drowned last night, said Majdolin Tarabin, a woman displaced from Rafah in southern Gaza. Puddles formed. There was a bad smell. The tent flew away. We don't know what to do or where to go. She showed blankets. Oh, my God. Sorry. She showed blankets and the remaining contents of the tent completely soaked and covered in mud as she and family members tried to wring them dry by hand. When we woke up in the morning, we found that water had entered the tent, said Iman Abu Rizik, also displaced in Khan Yunis, as she pointed to a puddle just outside. Oh, my God. These clickbait things. These are the mattresses. They are all completely soaked. My daughter's belongings were soaked. The water is entering from here and there, she said, gesturing toward the ceiling and the corners of her tent. Her family is still reeling from her husband's recent death and the constant struggle to stay dry in the winter rains. At least 12 people, including a 2-week-old infant, have died since December 13th from hypothermia or weather-related collapses of war-damaged homes, according to Gaza's health ministry, part of the Hamas-run government. Emergency workers warned people not to stay in damaged buildings because they could collapse at any moment, but so much of the territory reduced to rubble, there are few places to escape the rain. In July, the United Nations Satellite Center estimated that almost 80% of the buildings in Gaza have been destroyed or damaged. Since a ceasefire between Israel and Hamas went into effect on October 11th, 414 people have been killed and 1,142 wounded in Gaza, according to the health ministry. The overall Palestinian death toll from the war has risen to at least 71,266. The ministry, which does not distinguish between militants and civilians in its count, is staffed by medical professionals and maintains detailed records viewed as generally reliable by the international community. More shelter desperately needed in Gaza as aid falls short. Aid deliveries into Gaza are falling short of the amount called for under the U.S. brokered ceasefire, according to an Associated Press analysis of the Israeli military's figures. The Israeli military body in charge of the humanitarian aid said in the past week that 4,200 trucks full of humanitarian aid entered Gaza, plus 8 garbage trucks to assist with sanitation, as well as tents and winter clothing as part of the winterization efforts. But it refused to elaborate on the number of tents. Humanitarian aid groups have said the need far outstrips the number of tents that have entered. Since the ceasefire began, approximately 72,000 tents and 403,000 tarps have entered, according to the Shelter Cluster, an international coalition of aid providers led by the Norwegian Refugee Council. Harsh winter weather is compounding more than 2 years of suffering. People in Gaza are surviving in flimsy, waterlogged tents and among ruins. There is nothing inevitable about this. Aid supplies are not being allowed in at the scale required. Philippe Lazzarini, the Commissioner General of the top UN group overseeing aid in Gaza, wrote on X. Netanyahu travels to Washington for talks about second stage of ceasefire. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu traveled to Washington to meet with U.S. President Trump in Florida about the second stage of the ceasefire. Netanyahu is expected to meet with Trump on Mar-a-Lago on Monday, today. Though the ceasefire agreement has mostly held over the past 2.5 months, its progress has slowed. Israel has said it refuses to move on to the next stage of the ceasefire while the remains of the final hostage killed in the October 7th attack that sparked the war are still in Gaza. Well, I'm sorry. That's dumb. I'm sorry. Stop killing people. Just like the fucking Russians, turn around and go the fuck home. That's what I say. So there. Challenges of the next phase of the ceasefire include the deployment of an international stabilization force, a technocratic governing body for Gaza, the disarmament of Hamas, and further Israeli troop withdrawals from the territory. Both Israel and Hamas have accused each other of truce violation. Yep, it's true. And then this was, oh no, that's not. That's an old one. Sorry. I'm sorry. Sometimes I pick up the wrong things. Let me see what I've got here. Oh yeah, I want to read this. I want to read about the peace plan in Russia, but let me check in with my friends. Wow, and I've done all this baking to comply. Well done. Good job, Paul. Welcome to the show. Toronto, cool. Oh my God, we have so many Canadians in here, Donna. You're going to love it here. We are so Canadian. We are so Canada. Canada, oh Canada, you are it's how we stay warm in Canada. Well, that's a challenge. Yeah, we've got all kinds of Canadians here. We're really Canuck over here. Or super Canuck. Weed slang is a universal language. Exactly. There you go. That's why we named the show the way we did. But then we get scared when people come in and see if we're smoking. So you have to kind of put up with that. All right. Speaking of which, I am going to smoke. Now I don't feel so bad. We have 3 Canadians, so we're still way outnumbered. Oh, stop. Are you sure we have 3? I think we have more. Because we have you, Badger, Jane. Wait, now I have to look at people's names. Neil. Wait. Who? Wait, I can't keep track of people's names. I think we have more than 3, though. Okay? I think we have more than 3 Canadians in the house. And we always need more. Oh, okay. And Audrey, you're a Canadian. Okay, great. You don't. No. Oh, you mean in chat right now. Okay, all right. Well, Jane's from Canada. Yeah, you're a dual citizen. That's Canada. Oh, there you go. Oomph has Canadian ethnicity. We're lousy with Canada up in this bitch. No, Neil, there's a lot more of you than you think. I think there's more. I know there's more because Annette is from. She's not always in here, but Annette is Annette's from Newfoundland. She's a Newfie. Yeah, I think I know Annette's not. Oh, you're not Canadian. Oh, I didn't think you were, but I was gonna let you just have it. Okay, all right. Never mind. I sure wouldn't mind being Canadian. Yeah, I think we do need more Canadians, actually. Not the maple MAGA. We don't need a very maple MAGA. We've got enough MAGA. We've produced the most MAGA, so just let America have that title. I was in a francophone area where they called a chanvre, and I mistakenly cackled it chevre. Go jeez. Chanvre. What's a chanvre? Born in Canada, spent 3/4 of my life in Canada. Yeah, see, you got Canadian. You got Canuck blood. You bleed Canadian. I think it's great. I love it. I love how like I think of us almost like half American. Well, we're half American. 40% Canadian and 10% Australian. The world needs more Canada. Yeah, it does, Neil. Chanvre of Afrique. Be the chanvre you want to see in the world. I think cackled is probably better. I would dig that. I get it. I love you guys. Oh my God. What a morning. Morning. Chanvre is a hemp plant. Oh. Yeah, you definitely have Canadian credit. I might be. I'll probably move up there if they decide to come after me. Bien. Okay. I want to read this. If you didn't watch the. I'm sorry. If you didn't watch the press conference with that old skin sack down there and Zelensky yesterday, it was painful. It was painful to listen to because what I thought was interesting was in the comments that they made right as he arrived at Mar-a-Lago, when Zelensky arrived at Mar-a-Lago. Dump was standing out there, answering questions with the press, and said something about that, basically implying that Zelensky has been a naughty boy because he's been bombing deeper into Russia than he should be. So it was like a real tell to me. It just really stood out that he was telegraphing, not very subtly, to Zelensky, hey, it's not so cool that Vlad doesn't want you to bomb inside his country and stop killing our generals. That's, he basically was warning him that he should not be bombing in Russia. And you could see Zelensky, I felt so bad for Zelensky yesterday. His face just told everything. He has to stand next to this blackguard. It's like, I can't, I don't know. I know he's doing it to save as many of his people as he can. It just must be so painful to stand there as someone tells you that you, after being attacked by another country, should be nicer to that country. That's literally what Dump is doing. And it's wrong. It's very wrong. So this is the piece from Reuters from yesterday about the 20-point peace plan, because I kind of wanted to get into that. I know we went over whatever was released on it at the time. I want to see if this has any more detail to it. Yeah, talk about antiques. Oh my God. Yeah. Oh, Audrey. Audrey is definitely. You guys should totally meet. Oh my God. Oh my God. That would be so fun. That would be so fun. Ugh. Oh my God, my nose is running. Why is my nose running? Ride the snake, smoke the goat. That's right. Riding the snake. You knew I was a snake when you let me in. Isn't that funny? Because that poem was really about him. Isn't that funny? Oh my God, that would be so fun. I want to go. I want to go. Zelensky has balls of steel. Yeah, he really has. Ted has renounced all his Canadian citizenship. Ted Cruz. Unfortunately, we're sending him back. I'm sorry. You get him in the divorce. Sorry about that. I'm sorry. We're giving up custody of Ted Cruz and we're giving him back to Canada. Congratulations. Super lemon haze. What do I have? Let me see. What am I smoking? Oh my God. I don't even know. High octane. This is what I'm smoking. Does it make any sense? Whoops. 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 Oh man, you're going the wrong way, stupid. You don't know how to do anything. Does that, I don't know what that is. It just says high octane. Not sure, but it's great. Whatever it is, I love it. Oops. Oh, there. All right, I'm going to finish this, then we're going to read. People there didn't have a word. Wait, here we go. I gave people the gift of cheese this Christmas. Oh my God, that's so amazing. I love that, Jane. I freaking love cheese. I don't know, but I like how big that jar is. Oh, it's actually not that big, but it's just these mini joints, right? They're like these mini joints. Like half joints. Half joints. That's what it is. Half joints. Yeah, I know. I know. Also have super lemon haze at the moment. Oh my gosh, it's a thing. Drink the goat. Surprise, surprise. Surprise, surprise. Okay. All right, I really am going to read this. Renegers. I just did Renegers this weekend. What's that? Mount D. Oh, you guys are talking. You're talking antiques. I get it. There's a nice Gruyere old cheddar in the fridge as we speak. Oh my God. I spent so much time looking for this one French cheese, which of course doesn't exist because it only exists in like this market outside of Aix-en-Provence. Because, you know, whatever. It's like artisanal cheeses. Oh my God. It was a Comte du Basque. And it was, I can't even describe the taste to you because it was just the most magical cheese in the world. And Bobo and I ate it up. We loved Aix. I'd move to Aix-en-Provence. Okay, but I can't because I don't have any money. I wasn't in the mood to buy presents, so I gave good stuffs. My brother got a spiral ham. I think that's lovely. Oh my God. Raw, king size papers only. Well, girl, you're braver than I am. I'm lazy as fuck. Grilled cheese Gruyere. That sounds so good with some tomato soup. Oh my God. I love grilled cheese and tomato soup. I'm sorry. I'm just a regular bland person. He likes to smoke meat though. Well, that sounds really good to me. I like a little smoked meat now and then. Aren't they the little fashy round problem? Oh, are they? Are they around Aix-en-Provence? I don't know. I didn't talk politics with anyone. I just ate a lot of cheese. I just ate cheese. I didn't talk to anybody. I should have probably. It probably is fashy around there. I would imagine. It's fashy in more places than I hoped it would be. Damn it. But probably less fashy in some others. Okay, my joint has told me I'm not going to let you smoke me anymore. You're going to have to start reading. Okay. This is from Reuters. The 20-point peace plan proposal Zelensky will discuss with Trump. And that's from yesterday. A draft 20-point framework peace proposal is expected to be at the center of talks between Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky and his U.S. counterpart Donald Trump in Florida on Sunday. Zelensky said the plan could become the basis of a future agreement to end the war with Russia. After weeks of talks to modify an earlier 28-point draft seen as supporting many of Russia's main demands, Zelensky said this week that most positions had been brought significantly closer. And you want to know what's so interesting to me about this? What was I going to say? Oh, I was listening actually to Lev and Midas Touch yesterday because they went on a dual stream to talk about Russia and these talks in particular. And one of the things that Lev Parnas said about Zelensky is that Zelensky, what his sources are telling him, which I don't know what his sources are, okay? I just don't know. And that's not my point. My point is that one of his perspectives is that Zelensky is agreeing at this point in time to everything in the plan, within reason, pushing back where he needs to, but not with the intention of ever complying with it because he knows that it is unacceptable to Putin. And that Zelensky is playing the long game and trying to get the United States out of the negotiation pivot, the key as the key lead negotiator. Zelensky and Europe would like to take over and cut the United States out of those conversations. And that made a whole lot of sense to me, that would be a goal of Zelensky at this point, is to, go along to get along, but work with your European support network to actually have a strategy for making it through this part of the conflict. And I don't know if that's true or not, but it sounded very interesting to me and made a lot of sense about where Zelensky would be playing right now, just trying to basically work Trump and just keep him at bay. So I don't know. Crack on, man. I would have throat punched him yesterday when he said that I should be, careful and not be a naughty boy and bomb into Russia. Fuck you. Fuck you. My people are dying. My children have been stolen. My children have been stolen. Oh, fuck you. Fuck you. Yeah. Okay. Anyway, after weeks of talks to modify an earlier blah, blah, blah. Okay, here we go. Ukraine and the United States still had not reached consensus on two main points, control of territory and the Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, but Zelensky has said he hopes to discuss both with Trump. Below are the points of the draft proposal as unveiled by Zelensky and shared by his office this week. So this should be the most current. 1. Ukraine's sovereignty will be reaffirmed. 2. This point will envisage a full and unquestionable non-aggression agreement between Russia and Ukraine. It specifies that to sustain long-term peace, a monitoring mechanism will be established to oversee the line of contact through space-based unmanned monitoring to ensure early notification of violations and to resolve conflicts. And the thing about it is that, what was I going to say? Shoot. Is that I can't think of what I'm trying to say. Okay, it'll come back to me. I thought I was going to sneeze. Okay. Number 3, Ukraine will receive robust security guarantees. Well, that's not very specific. 4, Ukraine will maintain its armed forces at their present strength of 800,000 personnel. The earlier U.S. draft had called for Ukraine to reduce the size of its forces. Well, that doesn't make sense. You guys can't really see this, can you? You can't really see this. Okay, here we go. The United States, NATO, and European countries will provide Ukraine with security guarantees that mirror Article 5, the Mutual Defense Clause of NATO's founding treaty. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Bear in mind that Putin has broken every agreement ever struck about Ukraine, and there is no reason to believe that he will continue or that he will change his behavior. Okay? It's not going to happen. I hate to say it, but we're going to have to literally take Putin. He has to be removed from the equation and his minions. So I don't know. I think we should give Russia to Ukraine. That's what I think. Just kidding. Russia will formalize a policy of non-aggression towards Europe and Ukraine in all necessary laws and all required documents on ratification, including ratification by an overwhelming majority vote in the State Duma. That's very interesting. Being very specific about the vote totals in the Duma around any peace plans. That's interesting. All the grilled cheeses, I know. Maybe with pickles. I would eat it with pickles. What's the pine box alert? What's that? Do everything seasoning. Oh, wow. God, you guys are giving me such good ideas, but I'm definitely going to have to eat fucking soon. We have a seasoning called Salad Supreme. I bet it would be good. I've seen it in Michigan. Oh. Okay, you guys are... I know, I really want the Serbian feta, or no, the Bulgarian feta, but I can't find it anywhere in Los Angeles, of all places. Well, I haven't gone to, like, really big cheese stores, I guess, so I can't really say that. I'm lying. Okay. Russia will formalize a policy. Oh, yeah, we did that. Ukraine, number 7. Ukraine will become an EU member at a specifically defined date. Ukraine will also receive short-term preferential access to the European market, in essence, making them an EU member, so this is all stupid. Ukraine will receive a strong global development package, which will be defined in a separate agreement on investment and future prosperity. That's the one we need to watch for, okay? Because Witkoff and Jared Kushner are busy running around the world, taking all the places where we've killed as many people as possible, or at least supported the killing of as many people as possible, so they can turn it into condos. Period. 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 That's it. Oh, you'll find it in a Russian deli. I know. Okay, thanks for reminding me of that, because you had said that before. Bulgarian feta, yeah. Does that have anything to do with Trump's imminent demise? I don't know. Oh, Donna said you were asking Donna. Oh, the pine box alert. Is that the demise? Is that the countdown? I have my thumbnail all ready for the death watch. I have it ready. Give me the word and I'll throw up the thumbnail that has the death watch on it. No problem. I'm ready. I'm all ready. I've got my graphics ready for that. Oh, the pine box alert when Trump... Well, we need that. I don't know. We're not on it, but Donna, we're going to be on it. Yerba Buena is a park in San Francisco. That's true. I love that park, actually. Okay. Ukraine. Several funds will be established to address economic recovery, the reconstruction of damaged areas and regions, and humanitarian issues. The objective will be to mobilize $800 billion to help Ukraine fully realize its potential. Number 10, Ukraine will accelerate the process of concluding a free trade agreement with the United States. Zelensky said the U.S. position was that if Washington were to grant free trade access to Ukraine, it aimed to offer similar terms to Russia. Wait a minute, let me read that again. Zelensky said the U.S. position was that if Washington were to grant free trade access to Ukraine, it would offer the similar terms to Russia. I don't even know what that means. Ukraine will confirm that it will remain a non-nuclear state in accordance with the Treaty on Non-Proliferation of Nuclear Weapons. Okay, now Russia. The Zaporizhia nuclear power plant, Zelensky said no agreement had yet been reached with the United States on the issue of Europe's biggest nuclear power plant, which is located near the front line in territory now controlled by Russian forces. Zelensky said the U.S. proposal was for the plant to be operated jointly by Ukraine, the United States, and Russia, each holding equal stakes in a joint enterprise. No. What in the fuck is wrong? This is extortion. You know, before this war started, who owned the Zaporizhia power plant? Who owned it? The Ukrainians. And now Ukraine gets attacked by Russia is their children are stolen, their people are killed, they are bombed incessantly, and and that body, who is the victim in this case, has to then give up revenue to the aggressors? What? What the fuck is that? What the fuck is that? Who the fuck would sign something like that? Of course we will. We already are doing that, Neil. The U.S. and Russia are already in total cahoots to take over Ukraine. Don't forget, we already have a 50% profit share in Ukrainian minerals. For nothing, by the way, because we give them nothing. We give them nothing. And no, we didn't give them $350 billion. That was already debunked. What we did was give them arms when we used that money to pay our arms manufacturers to create the arms. So we used our money to improve American companies. Okay? We didn't give it to fucking Ukraine. I wish people would read. I really fucking wish people would read. And now we're saying, oh, not only have you been completely decimated by an aggressive force, you now have to give 50% of whatever you have that's valuable, you know, is in terms of your country, to the people who tried to oppress you. And the other people who basically bailed on you, 100% bailed on you, and now are extorting you, because if you don't, well, they're just going to let Russia do whatever they want to do. That sure is a bad, you know, that sure is a nice country. I'd hate to see something happen to it. That's literally where we are. Oh my God. This is so dumb. Zelensky said the U.S. proposal, blah, 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 each holding equal stake, with the Americans acting as the chief managers. Why? We need to be cut out of everything. I'm sorry. Kyiv's proposal was for the plant to be operated by a 50-50 joint enterprise involving only the United States and Ukraine, with Ukraine receiving half the energy produced and the United States independently allocating the other half. God, we're Nazis. We're just Nazis. That's what it is. This fucking country is becoming... La, 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 la. Okay, 13. Ukraine and Russia commit to implementing educational programs in schools and across society that promote understanding and tolerance toward different cultures and eliminate racism and prejudice. Ukraine will implement European Union rules on religious tolerance and the protection of minority languages. Yeah, okay. Zelensky said that this was the most complex point and as yet unresolved. Russia wants Ukraine to withdraw troops from territory Ukraine still controls in the eastern Donetsk region. Kyiv wants fighting to be halted at current battle lines. Washington has proposed demilitarized zones and a free economic zone in the part of the Donetsk region that Kyiv controls. After reaching an agreement on future territorial arrangements, both Russia and Ukraine undertake not to alter these agreements by force. Ha! That's so funny. I think Putin has his fingers crossed, so I'd be careful. Russia will not obstruct Ukraine from using the Dnipro River and the Black Sea for commercial purposes. A separate maritime agreement and an access agreement will be concluded, covering freedom of navigation and transport. The Kinburn Spit along the Dnipro's outlet to the sea will be demilitarized. A humanitarian committee will be established to resolve outstanding issues. All remaining prisoners of war will be exchanged on the principle of all for all. All civilian detainees and hostages will be returned, including children. Provisions will be made to address the suffering of victims from the conflict. Ukraine must hold elections as soon as possible after the signing of the agreement. Why? Why? We're telling the country what to do who has been attacked. This is wrong. This is morally wrong. This agreement will be legally binding. Its implementation, blah, 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 will be, blah, blah, blah. That's it. That's, yeah. Oh, wait, did I read the wrong? Oh, whoa, 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 whoa. Sorry. Did I miss some? Wait, I think I did. I think I missed something. Did I miss something? No. Did I? Oh, I see. Where's 18? Oh, 18, 19. Okay. God, it seems like it was like not that much. Oh my God. Okay. All right. All right. All right. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Speaking of corruption, Putin and Trump need a bitch slap. Yep. With the hand that has the big ring on it. Yes. Try babushka grandmas in West Hollywood. Okay. I'm going to. Babushka, I can remember that. Grandma. Like Russia and U.S. would never screw. Yeah, they're totally going to screw. Well, speaking of being screwed and not enjoying it. Not the fun kind of being screwed, let me tell you. Am I right? Let's talk about little Jared Kushner. He went to Jared. Kushner developing deals overseas, even as his father-in-law runs for president. Wait, is this an old one? Oh, shitballs. This is not what I wanted. I'm so sorry. God damn it. I wanted something about Kushner himself. God damn it. Oh, man. You know what? Actually, we should read this one. Let's do a palate cleanser. Let's do a palate cleanser about wolves. That's what that told me to do. I don't know why I missed the date on that. I was trying to get the recent deals that Kushner's making, but I fucked up. Oh, well, it's human. I'm going to find some stuff because I want to read about Kushner this week. Well, we've got time to do some longer reading. I want to read about Jared Kushner. Yeah, Jared Kushner. Jared Kushner is an idiot. Okay, and I found this place in Wapo yesterday. Wolves, long feared and reviled, may actually be lifesavers. A new line of research has revealed a surprising finding about how the presence of wolves helps keep people safe. Or Minnesota. The first clue was the flock of ravens. Tom Gable spotted the birds while driving to work. He pulled over and saw what they were circling, a rib cage poking out of the fresh dusting of December snow about 20 yards from the road. Climbing down an embankment, he found more carnage, tufts of fur scattered like confetti, trails of blood on the frozen river, and the disemboweled remains of a deer carcass. Whoa, drone shot. Drone shot. Drone shot. Oh, wow. Gable removed his mitten and traced a finger along the rounded edge of a paw print on the ice. These were the telltale signs of a wolf kill. There's not a shred of doubt in my mind, said Gable, University of Minnesota wolf biologist. Usually the story ends here with ravenous wolves as the villains. They're the antagonist of fairy tales like Little Red Riding Hood and parables of wolves in sheep's clothing. But a new line of research is helping to rewrite the story of the big bad wolf with a surprise twist. Studies have found that wolves in the Midwest and Canada not only keep deer populations in check, but they also alter deer behavior in ways that help prevent car crashes and save human lives. What? Look at. Whoa. I'm just taking this over here. No, don't mind me. I've just got a little snack for later on. Discoveries like this are adding new dimensions to our understanding of what we lose when we lose species. Interdisciplinary work linking ecology and economies is revealing hidden ways that species such as frogs, vultures, and bats help humanity. But the continued recovery of the gray wolf is not guaranteed, as Dump's administration aims to reduce protections for wolves. Look at the baby. Look at the baby. Oh, the baby. Oh, cute. The decline and revival of the gray wolf. Before the wolf was feared, it was revered. Native Americans wove wolves into their traditions, with some people regarding wolves as kin. But European colonists harbored no love for the wild animals that went after their cattle, pigs, and other livestock. For centuries, many Americans did everything they could to eradicate wolves, shot them, poisoned them, set them on fire, hunted them with dogs, and dug their pups out of dens. It was almost universal that wolves were considered bad, said David Meck, a U.S. Geological Survey biologist who helped start the International Wolf Center, a research and educational organization in Minnesota. But enough of Brainworm Bobby's vacation. That's terrible. Kushner is a war criminal. Kushner's going to look great in his little suit at Nuremberg 2.0. I can't wait. It's going to be lit. I hope he wears Hugo Boss. Okay. Oh, look at the gray wolf. Oh. Oh, whoops. Oh, I'm going to include this. 50 species that save us. I won't read this right now, but I did see the link. I'm going to go ahead and include that later on. Oh, no, that's not what I wanted. Where did you go and where did you go? And let me do this. Burp. Thank you. Oh, wait. Where did I go? Oh, okay. Here we go. In 1996, at the behest of livestock ranchers, the federal government was drawn into wolf killing. The effort to purge the remaining wolves nearly succeeded. Wolves once roamed in every state of the lower 48. By the 1970s, only several hundred gray wolves remained in Minnesota, along with a small population on an island in Michigan. Northern Minnesota was simply too remote for hunters to remove every wolf. But the environmental movement of the 1960s and 70s brought about a big shift in American attitudes toward wildlife. In 1973, Congress passed the Endangered Species Act, and with the help of new nationwide protections, wolves began a slow comeback. Dominic Parker was waiting tables at a hotel restaurant in Yellowstone in the mid-1990s when wildlife officials were preparing to bring wolves back into the park for the first time in about 70 years. The place was just buzzing with excitement and controversy, he recalled. Parker marveled at the transformation that followed. As wolf packs grew, the elk herds that had overrun the park plummeted. Not only did the wolves reduce elk numbers, but the predators' mere presence scared them from grazing young willows, a phenomenon ecologists call a landscape of fear. Although there is something of a debate, many scientists theorize that the respite gave the trees and the rest of the ecological community a chance to rejuvenate. These are babies. Hi, baby. Hi. I'm coming. Wait. I see something. Wait, what's over here? Wait, no, I'm going over here. I'm sorry. I love I love it. Wolf tracks. So Parker, now an environmental economist at the University of Wisconsin, wondered if something similar was happening in the Midwest, where wolf packs had been expanding beyond their stronghold in northern Minnesota and into Wisconsin and Michigan. Comparing the spread of wolves to car collision records in Wisconsin, Parker and his graduate student at the time, Jennifer Rayner, saw something remarkable. County by county, as wolves spread across the state, car collisions with deer plummeted by an average of 24%. In Wisconsin, there are still about 17,000 deer vehicle collisions annually, but the presence of wolves avoids about 1,100 collisions, 43 injuries, and 1 death every year, according to Parker. The most obvious explanation would be that wolves are eating deer and reducing how many might have run-ins with cars. The re-entry of wolves, though, didn't appear to diminish the deer population enough to explain the full decrease in car collisions. Parker and his team determined that something else was happening. That's a beautiful drone shot. That's Petey. Gable has been stalking wolves his whole adult life. When he was younger, he and his friends spent the winter following wolf tracks near his family cabin in Ontario. Now, every spring and summer, he traps and sedates wolves roaming in and around Voyageurs National Park, latching GPS collars on their necks to track their movements. For the rest of the year, he and his team from the University of Minnesota tail the predators to the places where they hunt down deer, beavers, and other animals to better understand their hunting habits. Gable compares his research to detective work. He often reconstructs kills with scraps of evidence, a bit of hair, a chunk of bone, that require getting on your hands and knees, quite literally, to find. Yes, he likes the crime thriller Fargo, though he notes many Minnesotans didn't think the movie got the local accent right. Wolves are capable of reducing a 200-pound deer to basically nothing in 6 hours, not even leaving a skeleton, he said. They'll crunch the bones. The kill site he found off of Highway 53 this month was fresh. Various deer parts were still scattered at the scene. On the frozen river, a pool of warm blood had made a depression in the ice before freezing into a crust of crimson. There he is. Oops. Wait. Why aren't you playing?
I mean, we can go take a look.
Sorry. Hold on. I fucked up. I fucked up big time. Sorry. Here we go again.
So this is where the deer was killed, right here. You can see it on the ice there. This is definitely where the deer was consumed. Seeing all that blood, because that's where the wolves took it down, and then they're taking out all the guts essentially, and the blood's just pooling out of that. It's a typical way wolves eat, is this, right? They take a kill, and then they're not neat eaters. They're messy. Like, one will take it out there, one takes it there. I mean, we can go take a look. Oh yeah, you can come over here and see bits of it. So here's the spine, the pelvis. That's the femur. That's what we like to collect. Usually, if we got here too late, the wolves will crack all these femurs and eat them. And they'll eat all the marrow. All right, so we'll take that back to the lab and we'll cut it open and we'll be able to check the marrow and see what the marrow looks like. We're in an area that seems like it's remote, wild, big, open, but they're sitting here, I don't know, 100 yards maybe from the highway. I wouldn't imagine a wolf just laying down right here, you know, but they do that all the time. So they're just used to navigating a sort of complex landscape where you have people doing all sorts of stuff. So I think that part is quite fascinating. Okay, so this is
Wait, now can you hear me? Okay, great. Okay, here we go. No sound, no volume. Oh my God. What is going on? Wow, everything just went. Everything went. Sorry. Kathy. Hi, Kathy. Muted. I'm sorry. Can you hear me now? Sorry. Oh, something weird just happened. Something weird. Something weird. Something weird just happened. Yeah. I'm back. I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. Something really weird just happened. God, the tech gods, they hate me. Now they hate me. They hate me. What did everything do? Everything went kerflooey. It happened when I did the music. When I turned the music off, then it was like this. I don't know, whatever. You know. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Welcome to the show. Do. Whoops. Oh. Not AI. Okay. Here we go. Let's get back into it. All right. Looking at the GPS data on his phone, he saw that a collared wolf from the pair he was tracking, dubbed the Blood Moon Pack, had been here shortly before sunrise. The lack of blood right next to the road told him that the wolves hadn't simply come across roadkill and dragged it into the woods. They were hunting near the highway. The Blood Moon pack has had a rough couple of years. The male, named Y1T, and known for distinct dark streaks on his face, had produced a litter of pups with his mate in the spring of 2024, but none survived the summer. Then in January, a rival pack killed the female. Y1T managed to escape the encounter. He wandered and found a new partner, a female known by researchers as Y8L. The new pair carved out a sliver of territory along Highway 53. Monday bugs, Monday bugs, Monday bugs. Look at how cute they are. Oh, come on, honey. Come on, honey. I'm coming. Here I come. Oh. A mating pair of wolves whom reason. Okay. Look how cute. Oh, they have to wear that big collar? That's terrible. But that's the female. That was the female. Isn't she cute? Oh, like a baby. Rather than trudge through the woods, the wolves in this area like to prowl along arteries carved out by humans. They follow paved, gravel, and dirt roads, cleared paths below power lines, and trails used by snowmobiles, ATVs, and hikers. Wolves use roads and trails for basically the same reasons why people would use roads and trails, because it's easier to cover more ground more effectively. Through his GPS tracking and on-the-ground detective work, Gable has shown that wolves hunt and kill white-tailed deer fawns closer to roads and other human-made paths than they would happen by chance. Tracking a wolf. Bye. I love this road. Thanks for making it. Okay, well, I gotta turn around. Wait a minute. What's going on over here? What? Okay, bye. Sorry. I love this shit. Oh, this is a wolf path. Look at the wolf path. Camera 1. Big circle. Wow, man, that's fucking amazing. Wow, look at how far up north that is. Leaning on wolf movement research like Gable's, economists Parker and Rayner developed a theory of why the presence of wolves was leading to fewer car collisions. Their data suggested that collisions declined in part because wolves deterred deer from venturing near roads. Like in Yellowstone, wolves seem to have created a landscape of fear, this time to the benefit of motorists in the Midwest. Rayner and Parker's team published its results in the Proceedings of the National Academy of Sciences in 2021. Gable said he'd like to see more data on deer before endorsing any conclusions about how wolves influence their behavior. I'm not saying I know for certain that that's not the case, he said. He plans to put tracking collars on deer next year. Oh, little deer. So pretty. But Parker said his confidence in the connection was reinforced by similar results in Quebec, where wolves living north of the St. Lawrence River led to fewer vehicle collisions, not only with deer, but with elk and moose as well. His team is preparing to publish that research. Parker knows firsthand how dangerous driving around wildlife can be. In 2022, a year after Rayner and Parker published their findings, Parker was driving in Montana at night when he suddenly saw an elk in the middle of the road. He had no time to react. There was enough time to just say, oh crap, and then I hit it. The elk totaled his car, but he and his passenger only had minor injuries. It was really scary. Beautiful shots. After finishing his investigation along the highway, Gable decided to check the tapes. He turned off the highway and onto a network of logging roads. Every half mile or so in the aspen forest, he had tethered motion-activated trail cameras to trees to get a glimpse into wolves' lives as they roam along the trails and roads. He has about 370 trail cams in all. Gable said he has been surprised by the popularity of the trail cam videos posted by his Voyagers Wolf Project. The research team's Facebook account has garnered 360,000 followers who gush over the footage of wild wolves howling and frolicking in the snow. On YouTube, some of the videos have gotten millions of views. Well, where the hell are they? Let's do it. Oh, the babies. Oh, the babies. They're so cute. So this is a cute little. I'm gonna copy that into the. I'll put this link in Voyager's Wolf. That's fun. I love wolves. I think wolves are cool. Gable. It's always crazy the number of people our content reaches. People love. Look at that baby. Don't you babies? Boop boop. I gotta pee. I gotta pee on this tree. I'm peeing on this tree. Look out! I'm gonna pee on you. Yeah. All right. Yet offline, he has encountered plenty of hostility towards wolves. He spends hours chatting with hesitant landowners for permission to place cameras on private lands. Even when he gets the go-ahead, he conceals the cameras. He has about 50 stolen over the years. He has even found some of his equipment blown apart by shotguns. People do stuff because they just don't like wolves, he said. They don't like people studying wolves. Many hunters in wolf territory view them as competitors in the pursuit of deer and other game, and ranchers tend to see wolves as threats to their livestock. Oh, the baby cows, baby cows. For a while, wolves were killing about a dozen cattle a year on Wes Johnson's 1,600-acre ranch in northern Minnesota. The state compensated him for the losses, but only if he could prove a wolf did it. Now, it wasn't always easy, given how quickly and completely wolves consume their prey. I shot an awful lot of them, Johnson said. His ranch overlaps with the Voyagers Wolf Project research area, and Gable was losing collared wolves. So the rancher and scientist worked together to build a wire fence around the property. Johnson hasn't lost a cow to wolves in 2 years. See, that's what this life is all about. That's what life is all about. Working together, finding ways. That's what it's about. Not hard. I don't care about them if they ain't eating my cattle, Johnson said. I don't want to kill all the wolves, just the ones that are on my ranch. Well, they were there first. I don't know. I'm just saying. Parker and Rainier calculate that wolves save Wisconsin nearly $11 million a year in fewer car crashes, an amount that is an order of magnitude greater than what the state pays to those who lose pets and livestock to wolves. The real challenge is that people who experience the benefits are not often the same people who experience the cost of wolves, said Rainier, the economist. Every presidential administration since George Bush has taken steps to remove wolves from the endangered species list, and conservation groups have repeatedly sued them to put back on, so often noting that they play a key role in controlling deer. Hunters could help limit deer populations too, but the landscape of fear created by wolves may change deer behavior in ways that seasonal hunters cannot. Here we go. We're going down. Oh, go out of here, deer. That's right. Here comes the wolf pack. Hey, see you later. We gotta go get dinner. Wait, where are you guys going? Did you get it? Little tiny eyes. Yeah, let them do the heavy lifting. You just hang back and wait for the dinner. Wolves are delisted in the northern Rocky Mountains, meaning that Idaho, Wyoming, and Montana are permitted to hold hunts. The Trump administration says protections in much of the rest of the lower 48 are no longer appropriate. In a filing last month, officials argued that wolves have recovered in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan. A bill from Rep. Lauren Boebert, yes, she still exists, to end gray wolf protections is also making its way through Congress, passing the House this month. What the hell is wrong with everybody? What in the fucking hell is wrong with everybody? It's Max. That 31 Rewolf is Max. Max Flower. Conservationists argue that although gray wolf recovery has been something of a success story, with numbers growing over 4,550 in Minnesota, Wisconsin, and Michigan, it still pales in comparison to the millions that once roamed North America. Wolf hunts, they add, may be imperiling the next generation of pups. Gable tries to stay out of the wolf debate. He says he wants to offer a window into their lives so others can decide whether they still need protection. Wolves might have recovered in Minnesota, but they haven't recovered in Iowa, Maine, Missouri, and the Dakotas, right? That's where a lot of the argument hinges. Have they really recovered? What does that mean? How do you quantify that? Parking on a snow-covered road, he clicked through footage from one of his cameras, stopping on a recording from a few nights earlier. The two wolves in the Blood Moon pack could be seen patrolling the road, reaffirming that they held claim over the territory where the deer had been killed. For a moment in the video, the pair stopped. The female, Y8L, hopped high into the air and began nuzzling and lightly biting her partner, Y1T. They're a breeding pair, Gable explained. They're playing, flirting. He plans to look for their pups in the spring. Oh my God. Oh my God. They're just playing. Look, they're playing. He's like, okay. She's like, come on, let's play. He's like, okay. I gotta mark this territory. Blah! Hi! I love you. I think these guys are so great. That's a nice one. I'll do a GIF link to this if you want to share it. If you love wolves, if you if you love wolves in the forest. Mr. Spock, are you here? I missed you. Good morning. Good morning. The wolf videos are too cute. That's why I had to read that story, because I freaking love. Oh, Liberty Bell. Oh dear. She's bringing out all the alts. All the alts are coming out. Oh, well, that was I mean, not a nice story, but it certainly was a little bit of a palate cleanser, hopefully. Hopefully. Okay, what else have we got here? We got do the multiplying. Oh my God, Stephen Miller. Let's see. I have a bunch of economy stuff. Oh, this is what I wanted to read. New York Times article on doggy. How did doggy disrupt so much while saving so little? This is my constant question. Oops, you can't see it. This is this is my constant question. And why are we not demanding that we see what they supposedly saved? Okay, that's what I mean. Stupid YouTube changed the display name. Oh, yeah. Yeah, and then they bark in the rain. Yeah, Audrey's got it. The Weave, the Coyote vids. Oh, I haven't seen that. Was a good book called Of Wolves and Men, examining end of wolf eradication era by a Barry Lopez, who may have been canceled or revealed as problematic in the 90s. I haven't heard of him before. But we love a good wolf. Speaking of wolves, we don't like, there's this guy. How did doggy disrupt so much? Yeah. The group's biggest claims were largely incorrect. A New York Times analysis found, and its many smaller cuts added up to few savings. I really want to. Okay. This is from the 23rd. This is from the last week. Here we go. Okay, let's get ready. I think I need my bear hat on for this. Okay. All right. Elon Musk's Department of Government Efficiency said it made more than 29,000 cuts to the federal government, slashing billion-dollar contracts, canceling thousands of grants, and pushing out civil servants. But the group did not do what Mr. Musk said it would, reduce federal spending by $1 trillion before October. On Doggy's watch, federal spending did not go down at all. It went up. Let me read that again. On Doggy's watch, federal spending did not go down at all. It went up. How is that possible? One big reason, according to New York Times analysis, many of the largest savings that Doggy claimed turned out to be wrong. And while the group did make thousands of smaller cuts jolting foreign aid recipients, American small businesses, and local service providers, those amounted to little in the scale of the federal budget. That's right. In Doggy's published list of canceled contracts and grants, for instance, the 13 largest were all incorrect. That's right. Top 40 savings claims on the Doggy wall of receipts. A New York Times analysis of contracts and grants reported canceled by Doggy found that 28 of the top 40 savings claims were inaccurate. 28 of 40. Yeah, that's right. That's right. At the top were 2 Defense Department contracts, one for information technology and one for aircraft maintenance. Mr. Musk's groups listed them as terminations and said their demise had saved taxpayers $7.9 billion. That was not true. The contracts are still alive and well, and those savings were an accounting mirage. Together, those two, so all the big balls people, all these little dopey kids, yeah. Oh, whoops, my chat is stuck. I didn't see everybody's comment. This is a historic confirmation for Michigan, since it's the first time in over 100 years that a verified cougar reproduction has occurred. Oh, wow. Oh, that's cool. Just saw that a trail camera confirmed that a cougar cub. Oh, my God. That's so cool. in the UP. Oh my God, that's so cool. Little cougars. Well, you know what? The Earth's going to take back over anything we've done anyway. Yeah, they lied. Shocker. Okay. Let's see. The contracts. Together, those two false entries were bigger than 25,000 of Doggy's other claims combined. Let me just read this again so that you have the full thing. At the top were 2 Defense Department contracts, one for information technology and one for aircraft maintenance. Mr. Musk's group listed them as terminations and said their demise had saved taxpayers almost $8 billion. Oh my God, I'm hiccuping. Almost $8 billion. That was not true. The contracts are still alive and well, and those savings were an accounting mirage. Together, those 2 false entries were bigger than 25,000 of Doggy's other claims combined. Of the 40 biggest, this is like fucking Dunning-Kruger in action. Like, all the idiots are in charge and they do stupid stuff. Yeah, it's a lie. That's right. That's really what it is. It's a lie. Of the 40 biggest claims on Doggy's list, the Times found only 12 that appeared accurate, reflecting real reductions in what the government had committed to spend. The Times analysis helps answer a basic question about Doggy, which was hard to judge in the group's chaotic heyday when it had enormous power to cut federal spending and force out government employees who stood in the way. At the time, in the early months of 2025, Doggy listed real cuts alongside fake ones and made it hard to tell the difference. That raised the question of whether Doggy at its heart was an exercise in budget cutting or in deception. It was a data gathering operation so that now he can fill his language model with government data. Oh my God, why are people so fucking stupid? Ugh. It was to get inside and take the data, for fuck's sake. Whatever. Okay. At the time, in the early months of 2025, blah, blah, blah. Oh, yeah. I'll tell you what, it's a deception. Bullshit. It had elements of both, the Times found. Let me try and find a middle road here. Okay, I'm the New York Times, and I'm here to find a middle road. Both sides. It had elements of both, but among Doggy's largest claims, the bogus savings were both larger and much more common than the real ones. Similar errors and exaggerations recurred across the group's work. The Times analysis shows that in trying to demonstrate progress towards its budget-cutting goal, Mr. Musk's group turned other promises inside out. Musk said that Doggy would be the most transparent organization in government ever, and that it would bring the precision of the tech world to government. The tech world doesn't have precision. Okay, that's a myth. That's a myth. That's a myth. Instead, the group became opaque with its lack of progress obscured by errors, redactions, and indecipherable accounting that few private businesses would accept. Some of Doggy's employees are still working in the dump administration, mainly on technology projects, which is still dangerous, so get them the fuck out of there. But the group's budget cutting now seems to be spent, even as the fallout from fired federal workers and former grant recipients persist, and the death. Let us remember the last story that we read about these cuts to USAID, which are resulting in actual people dying, women dying, because of complications from sexual assault. Okay? And HIV and maternal death. I don't know what to tell you, but that's actually happening, and people are dying right now as we read this story because of what Doggy did. The website where Doggy tallied its successes, called the Wall of Receipts, has not been updated since October 4th, and even then the information was suspect. At the White House, a spokesman declined to answer specific questions about Doggy's work, instead sending a broad statement about the president's goals, pledged to cut the waste, fraud, and abuse, blah, blah, blah. Neither Doggy nor Musk, who left the group in May, responded to questions from the Times in a podcast interview this month with Katie Miller, Stephen Miller's wife. Mr. Musk said his group had been somewhat successful at cutting spending, but he also said that if he could go back in time, he would not do it again. Do you know how many people have died and are dying because of this man and what he did to our government. He's a murderer. This man is a murderer. And he should be executed as a murderer. I'm sorry. Yeah, we destroyed food rather than distribute it. We waited on the food that we had until it expired. That actually happened. We waited until food we had on hand expired, and then we burned it. We're the bad guys. We are the bad guys. Instead of doing doggy, I would have basically built, worked on my companies. God, I hope you just end up in a ditch somewhere. I really do. I'm sorry. I really do. I just can't. I can't. To sort doggy's bogus cut. This is probably going to make me mad, but that's okay. Sometimes it's good to get mad. To sort doggy's bogus cut from its successes, the Times looked at federal records for the 40 largest items on the wall of receipts. In at least 28 cases, doggy got it wrong. Its errors included double counting. Doggy took credit for canceling the same Department of Energy grant twice, adding $500 million in duplicate savings. Timeline errors. One contract that Doggy claimed credit for ending had actually been terminated by the Biden administration weeks before Doggy began its work. 3 more items on Doggy's list had simply expired. These were pandemic-era contracts with pharmacies that provided free COVID-19 testing for the uninsured. They were originally allowed to spend up to a combined $12.2 billion, but they never came close to that level. Then in May, the 3 contracts ended on schedule. Doggy still claimed credit for killing them, highlighting $6 billion in savings. Misclassifications. 7 programs that Doggy claimed to have terminated are not dead, including 4 that were resurrected by court rulings. Exaggerations. In 16 cases, Doggy greatly exaggerated its cuts. Many, including those 2 large Defense Department contracts, relied on an accounting trick that produced savings with little real-world effect. Doggy lowered the official ceiling value of contracts, reducing the theoretical limit on what the government could eventually pay without changing its actual spending. Does lowering the maximum limit on your credit card save you any money? Said Travis Sharp, a senior fellow at the Center for Strategic and Budgetary Assessments, which studies federal spending. No, it does not. In one case, Doggy made its claim particularly hard to check. It took credit for saving $312 million by canceling a United States Agency for International Development contract, but declined to identify which contract, citing litigation. The Times used the few details given by Doggy to identify the mystery item as a tech contract with the firm Accenture. Here, as well, Doggy's claim was inflated by treating the ceiling value as if it were an IOU that the government had to pay in full, though it did not. Yeah. Actual amount spent is down here. If you can see this is where the actual amount spent, but this is what they claimed they saved. Okay. Another case involved a 10-year-old Pentagon information technology contract with the firm CACI. Musk Group claimed it had reduced spending on this contract by $700 million, but again, it had only lowered the ceiling to $5 billion from $5.7 billion. Yeah. They're lying to you. They're lying to you. Doesn't change a thing for this company. He said his company had always expected to be paid about $2 billion excuse me, over the contract's lifespan. And even if the contract ever did reach the ceiling, he said the Pentagon could just raise it again. There's no reduction of revenue, Mr. Mengucci said. A Pentagon spokesman defended these claims, saying contracts often did reach their ceiling values. Often. But he also said money saved on one Pentagon contract could be shifted to higher priority investments like, the president's pocket. Yeah, it could be there. It could be there. Suggesting the goal was not necessarily to cut overall spending. I don't know what you guys are talking about because that wasn't the goal. Other errors on Doggy's Wall have been erased over time. On the day the list first appeared, the largest claim was an $8 billion Department of Homeland Security contract that was wrong by a factor of 1,000. The contract was only worth $8 million, not $8 billion. That mistake and others were deleted after news reports revealed them. The power to cut federal budget was never truly in Musk's hands. It belongs to Congress. Ha ha ha, that's funny. And since the start of Doggy's work, legislators have only once passed a law devoted to clawing back appropriated spending, defunding foreign aid, and public broadcasting. In 2 mostly short-term spending bills, they have declined to make steep additional cuts, which is true. Mr. Musk's team also did not confront the largest and growing components of the federal budget, healthcare programs like Medicare and Medicaid, Social Security, and interest on the federal debt. But don't worry, because someone else is going to fuck those things over. That's right. Despite all that, Doggy effort led to some actual cuts that closed offices, canceled programs, and deprived people of food, medicine, and other aid. For people depending on those funds, the effects were sudden and devastating. Doggy initially terminated nearly every contract and grant at USAID and sought to lay off most staff members. Musk put the agency through the wood chipper. Some aid programs were later revived, but thousands were canceled. For Plan International USA, the cancellation ended work on 13 grants, including one that provided food aid in Ethiopia and an education program in Nepal to keep girls in middle school to avoid early forced marriages and forced trafficking, because I worked in Nepal in the forced labor arena, and a big part of their problem with slavery in Nepal is that people are abducted for work in the Middle East, for work in India, in circuses and other sex work. So Nepal is actually a huge trafficking, has a huge trafficking problem. But yeah, that would have been covered by USAID stuff too, by the way, but okay. Yeah, way to go. Its abrupt termination was listed on the wall as saving $11.7 million. When we left, a lot of parents could no longer afford to send their children to school, said Shauna Marzilli, the group CEO. In Sudan, grant interruptions and cuts meant the aid group Alight had to pause offering food and medicine for refugees, though the group ultimately filled the gaps with private contributions, which will not be the way it goes, by the way. I've tried to raise, I did 20 years of fundraising. I know what the fuck I'm talking about. You're not going to replace government funding with private donations. It's not going to happen. I'm sorry. That's just not the way it works. People die. That's what happens. Okay. But in other locations, including neighboring South Sudan, the organization stopped providing services altogether. Jocelyn Wyatt, the organization's chief executive, said private donors helped keep her group afloat this year. I don't think it's sustainable. Yeah, Jocelyn, say it. And I'm always impressed with the generosity. Oh, there's a refugee settlement in South Sudan. Scott Rome, the senior director for justice and accountability at the Center for Victims of Torture, said his group received its first stop work orders for its USAID and State Department grants on Friday, January 24th. By the end of the next Monday, the organization had to stop paying 75% of its staff, which forced it to close centers that provided counseling and rehab services to thousands. Jesus Christ. Mr. Rome said he was particularly concerned about possible suicides. Around a quarter of the torture victims the group served had recently experienced suicidal ideation. We know for sure that survivors are no longer able to serve our suffering, who are no longer able to serve our suffering. Those dollar amounts were small compared with Doggy's largest claims. That is, in effect, how Doggy ultimately saved so little but still caused so much disruption. For small businesses and local communities, relatively modest sums had major effects. It's the small numbers that hurt people, said Lisa Shaymund, whose company, The Pulse of GovCon, tracks government contracts. Most Doggy savings claims were small. Even with its many exaggerations, 80% of the contract and grant cancellations on the Doggy Wall claim savings of $1 million or less. Look at that, 0 to 1 million. $0 savings, 8,611 claims for actually $0. 14,000, almost 15,000 claims, by far the most, for grants that were $0 to $1 million. The sheer volume of all these cuts contributed to the sense that Doggy was taking a fine-tooth comb to the government. I never had that sense. No waste too small, but in reality, Doggy needed the appearance of the big billion-dollar items because a vast majority of these claims added up to so little, at least in dollars. When are we going to stop billionaires from killing people? In total, the Dump administration terminated more contracts this year than the government did last year, but the actual dollars deobligated, the money the government had committed to spend but then pulled back, were at most a couple of $1 billion higher in 2025 than in recent years, according to contracting experts. For decades, the government has funded outside analysts to study whether taxpayer-funded programs actually work and how to improve them. It's the kind of work that would seem to serve Doggy's mission of making government more efficient. But Doggy canceled some of those contracts as well. It doesn't feel like any of it has to do with efficiency, said LaDonna Pavetti, a senior fellow with MEF Associates. Her firm lost several contracts intended to help federal anti-poverty programs run more effectively. I'm going to say this one more time for the people who may or may not be listening. I worked in grant seeking for decades. I know I've worked in international development. I have gotten grants from USAID. I know this process. I've gotten private funding, public funding. I've got it all. I've done it all, babes. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Every USAID grant, every grant would have both an evaluation plan, specifically with key performance indicators. Okay, say it with the class. Those are KPIs, very corporate. So I'm going to tell you right now, I worked in both private industry and finance, and I worked in nonprofit, both for decades. And I'm going to tell you right now, those grants are run like a business. You've got completely detailed down to the almost to the day what activities you're going to do to spend that money. Who else has contributed to the program so that you can spend that money? You then have to evaluate each and every action you take in regards to that grant money, and you must report on it. So I'm going to tell you right now, there are volumes of evaluation reports in the USAID database. Why do I know that? Because you fucking submit them through the USAID database. So there's a fucking database full of evaluation reports of grants that went overseas. So fuck you. So fuck you. They are better. They're better. I've worked in both corporate and nonprofit. There's better record keeping in nonprofit in some cases, most cases, than there is in business. Sorry. You've killed people for no reason. That's murder. This makes me so mad. But yeah, watch the drama unfold on YouTube instead of actually trying to get your government to do the right thing so people don't fucking die. But yeah, let's worry about our stupid little beef with so-and-so because they called us a bad word. What? I watched such drama last night unfold on YouTube as I have never seen in my life. And I'm going to tell you right now, I am so angry when I see a bunch of viewers for shit people on shit shows doing shit all nothing. And I work so hard to try and help people. I know, Spock, you're right. Okay. I'm so mad. Have some coffee. But hey, what do I know? I'm just a girl on the internet. Okay, or a lady. Maybe a lady. Many of the errors Doggy has left in its wall were rooted in the chaotic process of how it identified cuts or told agencies to. Doggy was staffed by outsiders from the business and tech worlds. They were kids. Okay, fuck them. Without much experience in the arcana of government programs, the early approach to measure savings by subtracting spent money from ceiling values helped drive its choices and its high error rate. Hey, Badge, I love you. Dr. Sunny Patel, who was a top official at the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services, SAMHSA, which is all of the mental health grants come from SAMHSA, just saying, said he and his colleagues were given a dollar target and an Excel formula for calculating savings. Doggy officials suggested contracts to cancel, and agency officials fought to protect ones they viewed as most critical by offering others instead. You had to hit the hard number, and there's only so many things that you can cut, he said. So it was like, oh, I guess we're going to offer this up because it's the least bad thing to do. In other cases, government workers came to understand Doggy's process and fed the group nearly finished contracts with high ceiling values rather than contracts that would significantly reduce spending. Many of Doggy's initial broad cuts and layoffs were later put on hold or reversed by litigation, a fact Doggy never went back to the wall to update. That litigation also cost the government money. The Port Discovery Children's Museum in Baltimore had won a $200,000 grant from the Institute of Museum and Library Sciences to fund a program in which museum staff members went into child care centers connected to public schools in Baltimore. There, they would teach parents how playing with their children could foster child development and family relationships. Blake Shelton. There's the Port Discovery Children's Museum in Baltimore. That looks like a fun place. Holy moly. I love children's museums. I think they're so fun. Wait, Jim. I'm not having a very good Monday. I got T-boned. Oh no, Jim, are you okay? To no water, the well is broken. Jim, I'm so sorry. Oh, Jim, I'm so sorry. Are you okay? Are you okay? I mean, you're typing, so you might be okay. What's the round thing that looks like a face pillow behind my left shoulder? Left shoulder? Wait, what? This or this? 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 Jim, are you okay? Karen, do you mean this? A face pillow behind my left shoulder. Is this my left shoulder? That's an old computer with a fireplace on it. What's behind me? I don't even know what's behind me. Oh, you know why? Oh, I know why. It's my fucking... Hold on. I forgot it was dark when I started. It was dark when I started. Oh my God. No, wait, what are you talking about? Wait, what are you talking about? What thing? This thing? This is sticker. Wait, hold on, I'll tell you. For some reason, I can't talk when I don't think I have my earphones in. Okay, here we go. This thing, it's a sticker. Oh, it looks like a crest. Yeah, no, it says, we don't take kindly to ice around these parts. That's what it says. We don't, well, wait. We don't take kindly. Oh, yeah, that's terrible. We don't take kindly to ice around these parts. It comes in and out of focus. I know. Terrible. It says we don't take kindly to ice around these parts. And it has a lady dressed up as a cowgirl. And she's got I think she has a 6-shooter in her hand. Yeah, she's got a 6-shooter in her hand. That's right. But it's not a face. It's a cowgirl. I'm okay. He hit the rear door on the passenger side. It pushed me into oncoming. Oh, my God, Jim. Jesus Christ. Well, I mean, emotionally, you must be really traumatized. I'm so sorry. Yeah, as long as you're not injured. Oh, I'm just so sorry. That is terrifying. Oh, God. People, everybody, head on a swivel, okay? Head on a swivel, everyone. Would you please take care of yourselves? I can't take anybody getting hurt. It's on your mic. I know it did look like it was behind me, but it's on my mic. Yeah. Yeah, Karen, you're right. Oh, Jim, I'm so sorry. God, I hope you're... Just rest, please. Would you go to the doctor and just make sure you're okay? I'm sorry. I don't like these little things that sneak up on people. Would you just go to the doctor and make sure you're all right? Yeah. On April 28th, the government sent the museum a form letter terminating the grant and half its funds. The program no longer met agency priorities, the letter said, and no longer serves the interest of the United States. We were serving low-income families in Title I schools, said Sonia Sendak, the vice president for development and marketing for the museum. I don't know what to say. The doggy wall shows that it canceled more than 1,000 IMLS grants to local museums, libraries, and history centers. States and the American Library Association sued. Courts required the grants to be reinstated. The Baltimore Museum later received most of its funds. And on December 3rd, IMLS announced it was reinstating all grants. But those grants still appear as cuts on the doggy website, collectively saving the government about $134 million. Yikes. What kind of bear am I? No, I'm not a mama bear. I don't like those things. I mean, I'm a brown bear. Actually, you know what I like? I'm a sun bear. I like sun bears. They're my favorite bears. Sun bears are my favorite, so I'm a sun bear. People who track grants say doggy wasted money in another way by halting research projects at a stage that rendered the government's previous investments useless. There's another thing. Yeah. There was no evaluation of any of this. Okay? No evaluation. If you do all the hard work of collecting the data and then terminate the grant before you can publish the results, you just waste time and effort. Yeah, I'm a California golden bear. I'm a grizzly. Let's see. You just waste time and effort, said Scott Delaney, whose Project Grant Witness had tracked thousands of scientific research grants that were canceled or frozen this year. In still other cases, Doggy claimed credit for canceling projects it never touched. This is Margot Sawyer, told the government she needed to end her work on a public art commission before Doggy ever arrived in Washington. Doggy later claimed credit for canceling her contract. Margot Sawyer, an artist based in Texas, had a contract with the General Services Administration in which she was designing an architectural sculpture of hand-painted glass for a federal courthouse in Salt Lake City. But on January 2nd this year, she told the government that she wanted to end the work because of unforeseen costs tied to the outdoor site. In government records, her contract was canceled by mutual agreement with about $245,000 deobligated from it. Then this summer, it appeared among Doggy's savings claims. It's heart-wrenching when people are gleefully happy like, oh, we canceled an art project, Ms. Sawyer said. But the basic facts were wrong, too. Ultimately, she said, she was the one who ended things. I hate this world. It's so weird. Oh, my God. I can't with this world sometimes. I can't with this world. It's so cruel. I know I have a lot more, but I think I'm going to save it or add to it. We have a lot of time this week to read, which is really, really great. I'm really excited about it because thankfully Congress is just staying home and SCOTUS is fucking lazy and everybody's dumb. But other than that, we're happy because we're together. We're together. Welcome to the show. Anyways. Me. Well, it's going to be a busy week. We have lots of shows this week. We have a Wake and Bake every day. So, new year, same me, get over it. We've got trivia on Friday. We've got documentary Tuesday night on Discord. We've got, on New Year's Day, I think. Is it New Year's Day? Chickens with parachutes being dropped from a plane. That sounds fun. Actually, maybe not. I'm sorry. I don't mean to be mean to chickens. I didn't mean that. What was I going to say? Oh yeah. Wait. Oh yeah. We're doing the rest of our Star Wars marathon is going. Hi Scott. I love you. I want to say, can we really blame Doggy for taking credit for canceling stuff that they didn't? They couldn't keep track of what they did. Well, I mean, I don't know. Where's the accountability for any of that? Like, that's really fucked people over. Like, why is that not? I'm going to try and make it home from work and yeah. Oh, poor Audrey. I hate that people have to work. I think work is dumb. Yeah, we'll have documentary night on Tuesday. And then what I'm going to do is the rest of the Star Wars movies on... I thought turkeys... Oh, I love that show. That was a good one. Oh, Val, good morning, darling. We're doing the rest of the Star Wars movies on When are we doing them? Thursday? I think we're doing them Thursday. Because do you guys have Friday off? Wait, what is... I don't even know what's happening anymore. Do you guys have to go to work on Friday? Do people have to work on Friday? WPRK in Cincinnati. I thought that was one of the most hilarious episodes ever. Do people have to work on Friday? I mean, I know some people do anyway, if it's retail or something like that, or a hospital or something like that. Well, anyway, whatever day it is, we're doing the rest of the Star Wars movies this week. And then we've got Saturday movies, and we've got Lounge on Friday. I don't know what tomorrow's documentary is. I just have to look at the documentary list on Discord and see what's available. And then we'll do that. I've been working on Fridays, not this week, though. Fuck yeah. WKRP. Oh, PRK is Rollins College Radio in Winter Park. Thank you, Karen. You have to work on Friday? Poop. When should I do the... Man, I don't know when I'll do it. Thursday is New Year's. Friday is the 2nd. Oh, yeah. In Empire Strikes Back, when Vader hires the bounty hunter, one of them says, "Smoke the elf." Josh. Friday is the 2nd. Okay. All right. Well, let me think about that, because I want to do it on a night where people don't have to get up the next day. But then New Year's... Well, you know what, though? New Year's Eve daytime, you're not going to be doing anything. You guys don't have any plans in the daytime, right? Anyway, the bottom line is we've got 4 more movies to watch from the Star Wars thing. That's number 1. Oh, you only have Thursday. Oh, that's such a bummer. That's a boo-boo. I hate that. Fucking poo-poo heads. Well, maybe... I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. WKRP. All right. I'm going to leave you now. I'm going to give you back the rest of your morning. The bear is gone. Fascinating. Also work, LOL. All right. Okay. I will see you later. I'm going to sign off now. I'll be on time tomorrow. Maybe I won't, but I'll try. I try every day to be on time. Okay. And then, yeah. I love you guys. Have a great Monday. Fuck this Monday. Fuck this Monday. All right. I love you guys. Yeah. Have a happy day, everyone. Bye. This whole work thing has screwed up my lounge time. Yeah. Fuck that already. That's why we need our commune, so we can just grow food and not have to work. God. Somebody marry a doctor. Hurry, fast. Somebody marry a doctor. I don't care who, because we need a doctor. All right. I love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye. It goes back up. Don't worry about it, sweetheart. And try and rest. Think about your health. I love you guys. Have a great day.